What's going on, everybody? Bobby Fye, Eric Sheets-Haber. We are coming to you from the Pay Dirt Live NBA show. We are going to be talking about tonight's NBA slate. And yeah, it's been a little while since we've gotten together. Got a lot of personal stuff going on, and we haven't really quite met, gotten back together. So it's kind of nice. It's good to see you, and it's good to talk about some recent wins you had. I want to sort of catch me up and catch the people up on what's been going on DFS wise.
First of all, dude, can you name those people in the intro video? I don't know any of those people. I
know James.
I recognize Blender, and that's it. I don't know any other people. I gotta ask James to identify those people just so I become more familiar with it. And it's a different vibe. That music intro. It's a little bit of a different vibe. But yeah, DFS is strange, man. It's like you see, everybody see. I mean, listen, I cash hockey, I win this, I win every other freaking sport except for the NBA. Okay, the NBA is ridiculous. I mean, I got second in the Christmas slate. Okay, there's a lot of them. It was like 60,000, I think, right?
Yeah,
and NBA, as projectable as it is, and as I like to think that I'm very, very good with the projections, I just can't seem to get anything done, right? So meanwhile, we were going to the NHL live final last week. I brought Mr. Sheets with me, and I was getting ready to win that or play well in that. And as we were landing, I'm like, I'm not playing DFS while I'm here, especially NBA. I mean, I can't win anyway, and I'm also like not going to be around the late swap, whatever. But you know what? I landed. I was on tilt a little bit. I'm like, let me just fire a couple of things. I barely even looked at the projections. I ran it, and then I just ran some Sabres. Somebody just threw some lineups and whatever. Okay. So we went out for dinner that night, and then I looked at the lineups. About to go to bed. Literally, like everything's cashing for zero. It's like 60 lineups in like the lottery, like 2 of them in the money. You know what I mean? Like forget the Mega 8. I mean, that was a freaking horror show. And I played a couple of qualifiers in the NBA. They were like in last 2, whatever. Well, whatever. Same NBA is normal, no big deal. I'll just win the hockey tomorrow, right? So I go to sleep. I wake up and I look at my phone. It says won 40,000. I'm like, huh? Right? So I actually won a seat to that freaking NBA live final that with a $40,000 value. And it's so funny when you use the portfolio management tool, whatever. Like that one completely ceilinged. And no other lineup I had, like across my whole portfolio, like had a shot, right? So I was like joking about it with with Adam Scher, who's obviously been doing really, really well in the NBA in the last couple of weeks, whatever. I'm like, dude, I have my business plan on how I'm going to catch you. Like I'm going to spot you like a $300,000 lead, and then I'm just going to get it all back in one, and I'll surpass you when I get to the live final, right? So I wasn't even going to go. I just because Stacey comes to me to all this stuff, whatever, and if it was Arizona again, we would we'd been there before, but then I saw there was in Nashville, and that's like Stacey's like favorite place, and I showed it to her, and I kind of like put out like a feeler bet, you know what I mean? I'm like, oh, so this is in Nashville? Oh, Nashville, I'm in. I'm like, all right, let's go. So we're gonna be doing that, and then so I played the NHL live final, which. Again, I have my own thoughts on it. I think they do a really lousy job, honestly, with the actual live final, with the actual contest. They don't make a big deal about it. Everybody's just sweating, sort of. It's ridiculous. I mean, I honestly could do a better job at that. But they took us to the Panthers game the night before, which was nice. And then, so I got like 19th out of whatever 100. It was fine. And then, like, I put all my lineups in for my other stuff over the weekend, like UFC. I didn't really do anything. And I ran some NASCAR projections and ownerships or whatever. I threw that in. And then we got on a plane and came back home. We had to actually scramble. We were going to dinner someplace. And I looked at my phone. I'm like, first place, NASCAR, 53,000. I'm like, oh, let's go. Right?
Let's go. Love it.
So F the NBA. And so I would like to do something in the NBA. That would be very, very nice. Maybe you can help me. I was trying to have James like help me with the pay dirt stuff and have him kind of like whatever, and I don't know. We'll see how it goes, I guess. And I haven't even been screwed by late news or anything like that. It's just I don't know. Maybe it's just too hard. I don't know what to say.
It's really hard right now, and it feels. I honestly, it's like one of those things that feels weird because I feel like there must be just like 4 guys winning or something. Because I feel like everybody's having this conversation, and I haven't played NBA. I've played, I think, one time in the last month, and one NBA slate. And tonight I'm playing one lineup only. I'm not doing anything, just one hand wheel. But yeah, it's been tough. But I mean, like, at least you got the other sports going for you, which is nice.
Yes. Oh no, I'm killing it. But it's like a joke, you know what I mean? Like, listen, I don't mean to complain, obviously, right?
Yeah, no.
And then I came back, and then I don't know if you saw it, but last night I took down the $5 in hockey.
Oh, sick! I didn't see that.
Yeah, I won the poke check.
Love it.
4,800 or whatever it is, but you know, whatever it is, you know. So continue the process, continue doing what I'm doing. And then we'll just kind of see. I might end up doing a late swap thing. A late sweat tonight, just because listen, the 888's got like a $250,000 first prize tonight. It's like a million, whatever. But I'd like to combine those with the PGA lineup build. So I don't know if I'm going to do it. Because I don't want to do that until tomorrow. So tomorrow, you're good for golf?
Yeah, I'm good for golf. That's the one thing I've been playing. I had an excellent chance to win the big one this last week.
I saw that.
Finished 5th, but I was, which is nice, but the payout structures are tough. It's always tough to get close and not quite get there. But it was nice to, and I'm ready. I feel dialed in. I'm actually really enjoying the golf, and I've been in a lot of family things lately, so I don't really pay as much attention to everything else as I used to. So I'm a little catching up, but the golf has been fun and profitable lately.
So who do you like tonight? I mean,
so I'm looking through with talking about the chalk sort of that I'm eating as of right now, like Quentin Grimes, Cason Wallace on the I guess Quentin Grimes would be the low end, but there's we still have quite a bit of time here before lock, so I don't know where I'm gonna. As of right now, those would be those guys I would plan on having in my one lineup, or if I was playing a bunch, I would be just overweight that. But we have and right before we came on, Wendell Carter was ruled out. I wonder if that's been updated yet. So I'm still a little bit behind, but those are the 2 pieces of chalk value-ish I saw. And
I have a question about that, the Wendell Carter thing. Is that going to help at all, Paolo Banchero?
You could make an argument that it could. I think it's reasonable to say it does, because he's a pretty solid play anyway. So I would say maybe a little bit of a boost. Yeah. Yeah,
because I mean, a couple of them are doing well. I'm doing well in the PGA and the one and dones. I'm like top 10 in like the Rick Rungood one. And I'm doing well in that. I'm also been playing this freaking NBA Survivor thing where you have to pick a guy to score 20 points every day. And it's really tough. No, it's tough. It's just tough to remember to like keep doing it,
Right.
And tonight is a tough one because a couple of the top guys I've used already. So I'm between 2 guys, and one of them is Paolo, and the other one is Booker, like just to score 20 points. Booker's not on the slate, so you might not even know he's playing.
Right.
He's playing at Sacramento later. I mean, they both have a similar prop, like Banchero's got like a little, maybe a 1 or 2 point better prop, but here I talked this out. He's got a little more blowout risk than Booker does, because Booker's in like a pick'em game at Sacramento, where Paolo's in a game against Washington. But when you just want to score points, do you not worry about that? Like how did the game blow out without him scoring 20 points?
Right.
So I don't know. I mean, like if you had to. I mean, without even looking at projections or whatever, you like Paolo over Booker, just to score 20 points?
The only thing that will worry me about that is that I don't know what Booker's minutes limit is.
Okay.
I'm guessing he'd be on some sort of a minutes limit because he hadn't been playing much. But I could be a little bit late on this stuff. I'm not 100% sure, exactly how many he's played. Like I said, I'm a little tapped out. I'm a little not tapped out. I'm a little just removed from the NBA. I just have had a lot of personal stuff. I haven't paid as much attention as usual.
I am probably going to go with Banchero, actually.
Yeah, I think I probably would too.
Yeah, and the thing is, last night it was really was an awesome one. So it was both. I had Kawhi and I could have taken the Jamal Murray or Jokic, but I was worried about that game blowing out. And it turns out that Jokic was on his hands and knees to get there last night. He scored like 21 points. I was really rooting against him because he was high owned. And I had Kawhi, and I thought that Kawhi didn't have like a great ceiling really because Golden State can tend to like kind of shut him down if they feel like it. But the prop was too good. But man, they really threw everything at Kawhi. Like they tried to double him, triple him, whatever it is. He had like 5 points and then he had like 8 at the half. It was very tough. And to kind of hedge, I actually went to the betting market and I went like under 26.5 to start the game. And I got it right in the middle. He scored like 23. It was like perfect.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
And I scored the under. So that's become something I've been kind of dealing with. Okay. So you mentioned Quentin Grimes. I'm just rerunning my own projections right now. I mean, have you started getting used to looking?
I'm going through. I went through. I did a whole thing with James this morning for about an hour but we were focused more on golf because I was trying to just like get it. I just think trying to do the mass entry NBA thing. I'm not going to risk a ton of money until I have it figured out and using the other sports to sort of get me there. So I haven't been using the NBA thing except for as a reference point, and which is fine for me because I'm hand building tonight anyway. But I didn't get into it with him the exact amount of times that, how often it's updating, whether the Wendell Carter thing is being accounted for, because I don't think it is as of right now.
Okay.
What just out of curiosity, Sheets, I'm guessing yours is probably updated a little bit. What do you have?
I'm literally just running that right now. Okay. I mean, like within like 2 minutes, I'll have it. Okay, I mean, when I had it before, again, I didn't have anything with the Wendell Carter. I was just getting like Quentin Grimes as like my top guy, and I was getting Case and Wallace, but wasn't quite as strong as maybe the rest of the industry may have been talking about. But I'm going to see if it's changed with this one. But Paolo was looking like the best spend up, honestly. If this was before, I don't say spend up because they're like 10, 11K guys you could play also. But I liked him. I think Cade has like an easy matchup, right, against Harden. Right? If Harden, that's like
the Cade one is I mean, so I guess it's talking about that. Like Cade's on a tear. This is a good. Not only is a good matchup, it's a good pace, and it's a team in Cleveland that should be able to stay somewhat competitive theoretically. So I like the idea of the Cade. I also think it's just a tough conversation with Cade. I really like Maxey, and I don't think you can really get both of them very comfortably as of this moment. Now there's still news to come. So I'm not sure exactly what's going to happen with that. We have Denny Avdia officially questionable. Okay, that's good to know.
That's a new one, a new questionable.
I think that's on. Is that on this slate? I think it is actually. Let me just double check. I don't know that whether he was or wasn't before. I just came straight from the doctor, so I'm not quite sure. I'm just taking a quick look here. I believe that may be new. And that could be. Let me just see real quick.
Let me ask. So in your hand builds now again, like we don't really talk NBA that much, and we've just been kind of away for a while. So like, are you?
That's for tomorrow. I'm sorry. That's why I got confused. Sorry. Obvious tomorrow. Sorry.
So are you still thinking about, again, because we're not using SaberSim as much. I still use it, but like whatever, we're trying to use more pay dirt stuff also.
Yeah.
And hand build stuff is always really, really important. Are you still considering like run backs and correlations and stuff like that in your hand builds, or have you given up on that? Are you still focusing on that? I mean, like
I still have the same feeling that I generally have with that, and that is that I want if all things being equal, I definitely want the guys in the same game. If they're opposing each other, because look, you benefit from a close game, you benefit from potential. There's always potential overtime. 5% of games going to overtime. Right. So those things are factored in for me, but I'm not paying as much attention to it on this specific slate tonight. I'm really just trying to put the best 9-man lineup I can together. And as of right now,
I mean, Grimes has to be in it, right? I mean,
I think for me, he does. I don't know how I'm not going to play him.
How do you play anybody with that? How do you play anybody without playing him? It's
right. He and Wallace are the two that I feel like I'm almost certain I'm going to play. I'm also almost certain I'm going to play Jalen with a Y Williams.
Oh, he was the other one, right? That's right.
Yeah. So those are the ones that feel like sure things. And then I think that probably the more interesting conversation, as it often is the who to spend up for. And we went through some of the good ones, but like you went Cade's. I actually think Cade's going to be higher owned than it looks like he's being projected right now. But if you're spending slightly down, Banchero. If you're spending all the way up, Cade and Wembanyama I have is very, very close. I think Cade gets slightly under projected. That's just my take these days. He just became. I think he's the only player this. Yeah, he's the only player this year so far to win 2 Player of the Months. By the way, which
somebody's asking why is the Laker game not projected highest game total? Maybe just because like everybody's priced efficiently. I guess.
Yeah, I think that's probably the answer. Let me just see if what I'm missing here. That's not on this slate, so I didn't think about it.
Okay.
Okay. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not. I didn't think about it. I'm not playing that game, to be honest. I'm not playing that slate, so I really haven't done much thinking. And there is definitely blowout risk, even with as bad as the Lakers have been. They've been pretty good against bad teams, and the Pelicans definitely.
Yeah, I don't know if you know this guy Guggs. He's going to get 7th tonight in the 888.
Why?
Because I said so.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wait, he's going to get 7th? Why is he going to get 7th?
He's going to get 7th. I don't know. Like he was talking about it yesterday in the Discord. About the 888, he's playing like 2 lineups, and he like really wanted to win. And I told him that I don't think he's going to win, but I think he's going to get 7th. So now he's in here, and that. Listen, 7th, I'll take freaking 77th. You know what I mean?
Right.
But you know what? You're not giving me a lot of confidence, Guggs, if you're not going to know what teams are playing. So you have to. He's got his own sub Discord channel. Did you know that?
There's nice.
No. Within Pater, it's like the Guggs channel or something.
Oh, like that. No, I haven't checked it out yet.
Yeah. I don't know. He's yeah. All right. So let me take a look at.
Yeah, let's see what you got.
My projections, and then you can look at we'll look at keep an eye if what's his name comes in, if James comes in. He sneaks in sometimes. Like I don't get a notification. Like
just pops on in.
There it is, right? Okay, there it is. He always does that. Okay, so I'm getting somebody else as the top guy now. I'm getting Julian Reese.
Yeah, so that's the other one that I can't quite figure out.
I'm getting almost like a 7x projection and a 37% ownership. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So there's him, and then I'm also here it is. So here's the impact. It looks like of the Wendell Carter Jr. I'm getting almost a 6x projection from Moritz Wagner.
Yeah, that was what I was going to ask you, is what you were getting him.
And then the other.
I think it's I think Reese is probably the more logical, assuming that he does in fact start, which as of right now we're planning him to. But the only thing about Wagner that worries me is that he's had some. I mean, I'd say he'd had injury issues over this last year. He's had injury issues basically his whole life. So they just don't tend to let him go. I mean, I think he played.
Maybe he'll get like 22 minutes. Maybe you're saying.
I think his season high is 18.
Okay.
So it's just something to consider. And by the way, there's no guarantee that he starts. So we do want that news. And Orlando, as I always say, is that they're my favorite team to because they always get their lineups in early. And when they don't have their lineup in early, that means they genuinely were questioning something. So they definitely were questioning whether Carter was going to play. But it might be Batatse. It might not be Wagner. Do you have Batatse with a reasonable projection at all?
Who?
Goga Batatse?
No, I don't. I am getting Tristan Da Silva, 44. I have him with a decent projection. I'm also getting Jared McCain at 6x, and the other OKCs like Kenrich Williams, like all of these guys. So
yeah,
maybe I need to redo Goga. I don't even have him projected at all. So.
I think that it's going to depend on what happens with the starting lineup, and my guess is that they would start him.
Which team is he on?
Orlando.
Okay.
So the Wagner would turn into his projection. Because they did this last year. I mean, usually they start Goga and they'd bring Wagner off the bench, and it wouldn't change the minutes like in a crazy way. But I just don't see them giving Wagner a ton of minutes. I still think it's reasonable, but I think the thing we got to figure out is what to do with this. Look, it sucks because the Wizards, don't have many guys, and I mean, it feels like
look at the Saber sim. I'm looking at Saber. They have Goga with 22 points. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, So that's what I think you're going to end up seeing is one of those two is going to look really good. And I think your natural thing would be to double spend down at center, which actually might free you up to play the two studs that you're looking for. And we mentioned we mentioned Banchero. I actually don't like. I worry about that game a little bit. So if I was going to play like 4 guys from Washington, which you genuinely could make an argument, because right now I am only seeing 9 bodies for Washington.
Okay.
And that has me definitely a little bit like, okay, anytime there's 9 guys, you kind of want to have at least a couple of them, even on an 8-game slate. I'm just going to double check the NBA Twitter real quick and see if I missed anything. Let me see one more thing to do. I'm trying to bounce around here. And Anthony Edwards is officially questionable now. Injury, maintenance, game time decision. I think he was questionable before, but I don't know what to do with him in these situations because they're 13.5-point favorites. Edwards does tend to tough through things. This seems like a good time to maybe for him not to tough through some things.
He usually plays, but only in those games that I think they need him.
That's what it feels like. And this is a really cake matchup right here. See, Peter's asking a question, but the answer is the same thing that's been happening for the last month and a half. SGA has only played like twice in the last couple months, right? Yeah. I don't think we want to overreact to it, but it is the reason why Case and Wallace and these other guys we already talked about are make sense. Jared McCain,
Isaiah Joe, even.
Yeah. The thing with Oklahoma City, though, why I don't love the value in those thoughts quite as much, because you are playing a little bit of roulette. They did change the pricing already on some of these guys because they've had this situation for a little while now. I would rather play the team that has 9 guys. That's just me.
Which one?
Washington.
Well, and you can't have everything. Like Washington's locks at 7.
I know that's the problem, but I can use Washington for my value. Use OKC for my mid-tier with the Jalen with the Y, Williams, and the Case and Wallace. That's the way I'm going to treat it. I'm not saying it's right. It's just what I'm going to do. And we do have our old friend with 9 players, Jaden Hardy. They just won't let him go, but because I think this is a reasonable spot to take a shot on Jaden Hardy. Why? I don't understand the projections on him.
What team is he on now?
He's on Washington.
I think they got to wait. Let me see.
I'm just never buying this as a real median.
I got him at 24. I mean,
that makes sense. Not 17, which I'm looking at right now.
Yeah,
that's a pretty good projection for a guy who's 4,200. I mean, they only have 9 bodies. It'd be really hard for 3 of them not to crush their value.
Yeah.
So that's sort of what the guys I'm going to be deciding between over there. Yeah, I think that's sort of how you do your builds. Like you have Grimes and Max. You've got good stuff in Philly. You've got good stuff in Washington because they just don't have enough bodies. And then the OKC guys, and that's sort of the core, I think, of your build. And then you decide on the spend ups you want. I think you can make a great case for. We already talked about it. Wemby and Cade, I think both make a lot of sense. And then on the slightly lower tier, Maxey and Banchero, I think make the most sense. I don't think there's anything revolutionary about any of that. The one thing I would say, though, is if you're playing a bunch of lineups, I would probably put in a boost on Julius Randle just in case Anthony Edwards does sit. It also would benefit other guys, but I don't think I would be looking for the super value. I think I would look for the highest scores. Naz Reid would be another one. Let me just double check if he's.
Is he now? Julius Randle wouldn't get all the work, right? I mean, that's not a guy that I need to use in Survivor, right, to score 20 if Edwards is out. If
Edwards was out and you knew it, I would use him.
You think that he'd be more likely than Banchero if I knew he was out?
The only Banchero danger is that even though look, it's not like they have their whole team out there. They have enough guys back, and they could. I mean, the game he might not even play in the fourth quarter.
Right.
That's the one thing that would scare me a little bit. But I mean, theoretically, these guys should both score 20 easily. But it's hard to know. It's hard to know for sure. Right. I'm surprised also that no one's talked about Harden.
Because you know what, I really think that I mean, he legitimately has a broken wrist.
Yeah,
it's on the offhand, whatever. So I don't know how much he's going to try to score now. I mean, he's getting triple doubles, whatever.
Yeah,
so that's good. But I don't think he's got 30 points, real points in him right now.
Probably, and it's also not a great matchup either against this.
Is he under 9K?
He's 92.
Yeah.
He was another one that I was just looking at, you just see with no Mitchell. I just okay, and a good match, and it should be a tight matchup. You'd think they'd use him, but hard to know.
I don't know if I spoke to you about this, but I mean, I went to the that Knick game a couple of weeks, like a week or so ago with Stacy, and they played the Pistons. And last time I saw them against the Pistons was last year in the playoffs, and the Pistons were not quite good enough yet. Mm-hmm. But I was commenting back then. I was watching Cade against like Jalen Brunson, right? And I'm like, You know what? Cade and the Pistons, they're just not quite ready for this yet, but they're like a year away. And I went the other day, and boy, a year has passed, and they are sick.
Absolutely.
They are just insane, and Cade's impossible. You know what I mean? And and the whole team, and and they were missing even Tobias Harris has a role. You know what I mean? Like they didn't even have what's his name? I think Durant in that game. I think they.
No, I don't think they did. I think he was still suspended. Yeah.
Yep.
Boy, he that is one who is what a year. I mean, that's another guy you could argue is probably too cheap, but we just have the center spot for value tonight. But I mean, this guy's put up 48 or more in 4 out of his last 5. He's just an absolute monster now.
And you mentioned, and you told, listen, when he first came into the league just a couple of years ago, I'm like, remember the first couple of weeks of the season, I'm like, who is Cade Cunningham? He was like 4K or something like that. Like his first, and he's like, yeah, no, he's like going to be like amazing. He's going to be like 11K. I mean, right.
Yeah, he's probably. By the way, I think he's going to win the MVP this year. So it's pretty wild.
Well, he might be the only guy left.
I know that's part of it, but also, I mean, it's kind of hard to argue against him. The guy just goes crazy. If you watch Cade play, and you said this in person, when I saw him play in person, I just could not believe the size of this guy.
He's so big.
He's huge. He looks like a center. And when they walk out and like they were playing the All-Star game, I was watching. I was like, I don't think people understand how big he is. He's just a monster of a human, and he moves like a little guard. So, no, not surprising that he is where he is. But yeah, so I'm plugging in right now. I'm just sort of trying to get some updated projections here.
Yeah, we have to get starters.
Yeah.
In both those games, right? I mean,
I don't. The only starters I have are the Cavs and Pistons, which are just.
Well, that's funny because Orlando, at least their starting lineups like 8 hours ahead of time if they're healthy.
Exactly, they usually do.
But if they're not healthy, they like wait till like the game starts.
Yeah, exactly. And Harrison Barnes is questionable. I don't know that that's a real mover for me anyway. I guess you could make a case for Champagny because occasionally he just makes like 7 threes in 20 minutes. Actually, you can make a case for anyone named Champagny.
But I guess strategically, again, like we have to we have to wait. We have to wait and see what happens with these starters with Washington and Orlando. Yep. And then it's possible that we just have to empty the clip on those guys and just like not play the OKCs. I mean, like if we have to see what the value looks like after those projections update, I guess. Yeah,
and I think I'm kind of into the idea of I think I'm just going to sell myself on this. Jaden Hardy is my Wizards value off the bench answer, along with Julian Reese, and I'm pretty sure both those guys that make it in my one lineup. That's all I can say.
Yeah, yesterday James and I went back and forth. There was this guy like Ron Harper Jr. who was like looked like really really good. Yeah, and then James just came up with like a really really good pivot, like a low end pivot, and this guy Hinson, and at the end of the day, like I think neither of them, I think they both busted. I think.
Well, it was the right idea though. At least he thought of the pivot. I'm going to take a quick look and see I'm missing something on Washington because I actually feel like they might be under-owned. And there's something wrong with the projections I'm looking at because they've got Julian Reese too low. But yeah, I think that's the biggest answer is we need the starting lineups. But I've changed my mind where I now think that we have much better value on this slate than I did.
You'll be able to get like 2 studs in if you want them.
Yeah, and I think for me that probably
Maxey
and Cade are the most logical, but I have no problem with the Banchero. I just would rather not play the blowout potential game for when I'm looking for that big of a ceiling. I think I'd rather stick to the other stuff personally.
Who did the Pistons play?
They're playing Cleveland in Cleveland.
Yeah, they're not going to. I mean,
so 2.5 point favorite only. So it's a nice game for them. And then I'm just looking at the median projection. The top, Wembanyama also is just a tough one. Not tough to not have some interest in.
Matt went the other day to see the Pistons, to see Wemby come play Madison Square Garden, and the Knicks killed him.
Oh, that was the terrible game, the one they got crushed.
Yeah,
the terrible game. Sorry, I love the Spurs, so I was speaking from. I love Wemby, is the truth. But that's right. That's the one. That was their big downfall game. Because they'd won 11 in a row going in, I believe. And I get to see your Knicks sheets next week. That was one of the gifts for my mom for everything. They were like, oh, let's the game. It's like 11:30 game on Sunday morning, so we're gonna go out there and watch the Lakers and Knicks, which would be fun.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
I'm looking forward to that. This guy asked about Bane twice. I said Bane was fine both times. I'm not playing Bane, but I'm sure I'd have a little bit if I was playing a bunch of lineups. But I don't think it's like I don't like it nor dislike it. It's just not going to be on the radar for my one lineup for me. VJ Edgecombe is another one who's been over 40, I think 4 straight games. Another player that seems very reasonably priced against a Spurs team that they're going to need every bit of everything. So Maxey and him and Grimes, all 3 of those guys look really good to me tonight. Which maybe if you do play those 3 guys, you play that's the Wembanyama, you put him over Cade then, because you're hoping that game stays close and they can, you know what I'm saying, you can get a little bit of the run back. That would be the way that I would treat that, because I do think it's pretty close between Wembanyama and Cade. I think.
Yeah, if you want to be really pure, what you're supposed to do is play 5 Washingtons and play Banchero, right, on the other side. Or,
that's true.
If you want to try to. Who's the Chicago guy? Is Giddey playing tonight?
Giddey should be in. I've got him in as of right now.
Maybe you play Giddey and Bruzelis or somebody like that against all these OKC.
Yeah, and I just the only thing with the OKC is that at least they have 11 bodies, and they are a team that will play all their guys. That's the only thing I worry about with them. That's why I'd rather stick to the mid-tier versions of the OKC than the low end, than the value. I'd rather play the Case and Wallace, Jalen Williams with a Y than I would Jared McCain at 3,800. But Jalen Williams with the Y is also a high risk play. It's just you're going to get 15, or you're going to get what did he have? He had like 60 the other day. No joke. He had literally 60 fantasy points, I think.
Who? Jalen Williams?
Jalen with a Y, yeah. But yeah, I'm ranking it Maxey, Cade, Wembanyama, then Paolo for me. That's the way I've got it. And after that, actually, it would be Harden for me, I think. Some of these numbers I've got to update because this cannot be right. There's no way Rudy Gobert's 40% owned tonight. I can't imagine how that's the case.
You mean you'd be getting 40%, you're saying?
No, I'm looking at a 40. What? No. Oh, no, you know what that is? I just think it's a mistake. They've got him at 6x 40% of the time. I don't.
Oh, right. Okay,
I'm not buying into that. I just don't think Gobert could ever be.
What's his price?
He's 7K.
You don't think he gets 40 fantasy points?
Yeah, he gets 40 fantasy points about once every 6 games or so, 7 games.
Okay.
It's hard for me to buy against in any matchup that he's going to be, that high.
So it looks like Goga is starting.
Goga is starting. Okay, then I think we just play Goga and we don't even have to think about it. But Reese, you could still play Goga and Reese. If Reese does start, we still don't know. We don't have Reese officially. Let me see if they announced. Oh, they did. We got some. Reese is starting. So, and Goga is starting. So we have 2 3K centers. I know it's going to be a pretty popular thing to do. That is one thing you could do if you're multi-entering to get different, is to spend up at center in some spots. I think it's very reasonable. But I am personally going to play the Reese, and I think I'm going to play Hardy too as there we go. Yeah, I think that works. And then I can play Cade and I can play Maxey. I can still play Grimes and Wallace. Wow, okay. I don't even know if I need Grimes as much anymore, but Grimes. Yeah. Okay, Grimes. That gets a little tricky. That's why it's not getting to the Hardy, is because the Grimes. I think I'd rather play Hardy as a I don't know what to do with that one. I think I would rather play Hardy personally, actually. And then if we play Wallace, yeah, okay. I'm kind of liking this. And then at forward, I could actually get Banchero in as well. Wow.
Are you ready?
I don't know if I want to do that, though. Well, I'm still figuring it out, but I've only got the one lineup to go through. Anything else you want to touch on here, Sheets?
No, we're good. It's again, it's tough for me to go past like this time because now I got to really focus on redoing everything, getting my lineups in. But I hope this was helpful to some degree. And listen, like anything else, I mean, depending on how much you put in these Washington Orlando guys, I mean, you are going to want to late swap into all this stuff that's coming up at 8 o'clock. And not to mention, who knows what happens with Anthony Edwards.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So that's the one thing. If you play Maxey, then maybe, and Wemby, then if the Minnesota news comes out and then you want to play Julius Randle, you could do that and then just do something different later or something. So
absolutely, yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense.
And unfortunately, this is what the NBA is. It's the big battle of late swappers. So
that's what it is.
We will see. So we're gonna do golf. What time? Like 1 o'clock tomorrow? If you can make it. Okay.
Yeah, I'll be there.
Okay, great. So
all right, man. Have a good night. Good luck to you, and good luck to all you guys. And we'll see you guys soon. We'll sort of fine tune this stuff a little bit more. Just I'll be in and out with NBA shows. I just don't know how often I'll be around this next week, but I know I will once I get back into it. Certainly for the playoffs. That part I'm looking forward to. All right. Good luck, Sheets. Good luck, guys. We'll see you later.
Okay.